Yeah. It says 0 on mine. Yay! We fixed it! We fixed it! Yay! Messy countertop. This is my Garfield shirt. I love my Garfield shirt. I love Garfield. Oh, I'm wearing my Garfield pants too. Oh, look at that. We got Garfield, Toronto Raptors crossover. Garfield. Except, something happened to my shirt. It's got some holes in it. I don't know. It just got left in the trailer for a little bit, I think. Or something. I don't know. I might make it into like a crop top or something. Yeah. Maybe I'll just cut off the bottom of it. And then it'll just be like a short top. I wish I had propane. Right, Gummy? Right, Gummy? Let me have some dabs. Right, Gummy guy? Yeah. Do one of these? Yeah. Keys. I tapped my bong on the aluminum again and I cracked it again. That aluminum is like pretty freaking solid. Which, hey, that's an idea. What if I just used like... I just broke the bowl out of here. There's an idea. We just keep slapping it around until I have no bowl left and the downstem's useless. Amazing. No, I'm just kidding. I'll just probably torch it until it's red and then take pliers and pull them apart. Look at that. It's broke again. What's going on? Gummy. You're laying on the floor. You're laying on the floor, Gummy. Eric Strong? Who's that? Who's that? I love Garfield. I should put my cat costume on. Where did I put that thing? Oh, it's up there. I see now. Okay. K. Crisis averted. I like scrubbing myself with baby wipes. I don't know. I had a bath already. I didn't wash my hair actually, now that I think about it, when I went to the bath. What's that gummy doing? When I was a kid, aliens came to planet Earth and they said, "You have tiny bugs all over your body. Let me get rid of those." And I said, "No, what the fuck? They're my friends. I'm feeding them. The only bacteria you need in your body is in your gut to digest your food. Everything else should be a part of you." I'm like, "No, what the fuck? I'm part of this infinite ecosystem that's infinitely larger and smaller than me. Go away. Life is through every piece of my being. Stop touching it." Aliens deleted it all. Aliens made me symmetrical. Aliens deleted all the mites that clean my skin, so now I have to have a shower every day. Aliens just decided to edit my entire timeline and history. Aliens are stupid. Aliens don't know what it means to be a human being. What are you doing? You gotta meow. You gotta walk over my stuff again? You just walked over this. What? Did you not find what you needed over there? You gonna walk on my table again? This cat is an obsession with walking on my table. I don't even know what his issue is. What do you want? What is it? You just walked here. No, you don't need to come back. You walked over here for a reason, and you can stay over there. Oh, outside? Oh, outside? Oh, just somebody could shoot you again? So somebody could shoot you right there? Yeah, well, someone's gonna shoot you outside, you dummy. Someone's gonna shoot you outside. Right. That's why we stay inside now. I'm sorry. Oh. We stay inside now, because someone's trying to shoot my gummy. Right, gummy, we don't need to shoot you. Yeah, I know. We gotta stay inside. We gotta stay inside. Trying to have a conversation right there. He's like, "Fine, I'll go back to eating my food." Fine. I didn't eat kitty food anyway. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I hurt your bum bum? Did I poke that too hard? I don't want anybody to shoot my gummy. I don't want anybody to shoot my gummy. You gotta stay inside. Yeah, your ears are warm. You're getting mad at me. His ears get warm when he's mad at me. Oh, baby. Do you need more kitty food? I'm sorry. I don't want nobody to shoot my gummy. I'm sorry. I don't want nobody to shoot Gummy. We stay inside now. Yeah, we stay inside. I didn't do it. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Who was it? It wasn't me. I didn't do it. Ow! I didn't shoot you. I didn't do it. Somebody else. What? Somebody shot my Gummy. Yeah. It was mean. It was very mean. And it was really hurt. Yeah, next time it kills you. Next time you're dead. So we're having a conversation with Gummy. He's gonna attack me when he disagrees with me. That's how we talk. I didn't shoot you. You wanna go outside? You wanna go outside? You're not allowed to go outside. You're not allowed to go outside. Oh, he's not happy. He hissed at me. He hissed at me. Poor guy. Poor dude. Oh, Gummy baby. Oh, Gummy baby. He's such a cute little guy. Anyways, it's been another fucking hour since I thought about doing something. No, I fixed the labels. That's right. That's right. Let's look at my to-do list. We got a to-do list on Trello. All the stuff I gotta do. All the things and stuff and things. This guy got a steal. Alright. I'm gonna finish shading this picture apparently today. And he only paid $35 for a $100 picture. What emoji is that? A sad egg emoji? What emoji is this? Never seen this. Sarah B48 sad egg. It is a sad egg. Fun. Alright, I'll take it. I was watching fucking Oompaville. You could feel free to send me a YouTube suggestion and we can watch YouTube together. I like this one. I make the game smaller than the. Okay, you can get off my screen there.
Picture this. You're in your house, in your bed, sleeping, dreaming, when all of a sudden you hear a creak and you shoot out of bed. You look to the left. You look to the right. You look straight ahead and you lock eyes. You see two eyes in the slats of the blinds on your window. Someone looking, peering at you. That's basically what it's like being on the internet all the time. People watching you, people wanting to watch you. Stalkers have been around forever, and they have gotten quite a few more tools on their tool belt, dare I say, since the internet has become real easy to use. And being anonymous is just so awesome. All those things are cool. I love the internet. You know, it's part of the game. I totally get it. But I've got a platform and protections and followers and all this stuff and insurance and and I can ask for help. So if I get stalked, it's fine. It always ends up to be something that can be dealt with. But some people get stalked and harassed and get their identity stolen, and there's nothing that they can do because the platforms that are being used, they don't really give a about the average users of the platforms. They only care about influencers or people with, I don't know, clout. You know what I'm saying. If you have less than 10,000 followers, then get stalked. Isn't that right, Frankie? That's pretty much what Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, and YouTube all have said to one of the topics of today's show. Welcome back to the Oompaville channel, my friends. Yeah! And look, Gump Club plug. Go to gump.club to watch uncensored videos with behind-the-scenes footage of me and Frank. In late 2021, Canadian singer-songwriter Connor Ferguson noticed something unsettling. Someone was using their photos and likeness across multiple social media platforms. They were using pictures of them, claiming to be a successful musician, producer, and artist with famous connections to people all over the place. You know, like Brad Pitt and the alien from South America that I have in this little coffin. Not really. It's not actually.
Why so spicy?
Frank, you've never seen this, have you? Or have you?
Just dancing.
It wasn't long before this fake Connor Ferguson had amassed a following larger than the real Connor Ferguson, which that is another level of dubious that I have had yet to see on the internet. Someone stealing your identity and then becoming famous with you. All of this Connor has been documenting publicly for years and using forums like r/internet mystery to help try to get the word out on this situation. It is the most unbelievable, insane thing that I have stumbled upon in quite a while. So you might say, what's so bad about Uriel just pretending to be Connor? He wasn't just pretending. He appropriated Connor's real early music recordings as his own. He manipulated them and redistributed them as his own work. Uriel Bromberg is a talented artist, singer, songwriter, and game developer who loves to make art. His production, many of which are based on his personal experience.
He tried to knock this down.
We've got ourselves a
What the
psychopath. So who is this guy, Uriel Bromberg? He appears to be a Brazilian man. We're not totally sure of his name. He has a digital footprint that's been traced back to around 2017, initially posting in forums for custom content creation for video games and sharing graphic art. And somewhere along the way in his journey of being on the internet, he decided to just steal people's shit and become famous with it and grow a following. How? I don't know. I can't even do that with my own skill and face. So we've got Connor, we've got Uriel. All right. There are more people that Uriel is obsessed with, not just Connor. Have you ever seen Young Sheldon or The Big Bang Theory?
I'm not going to be assaulted. High school is a haven for higher learning.
Oh, dear God.
People used to say that I was like Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory, and I don't think they realized how disparaging that was to me and how bad that made me feel as a young growing boy. Anyway, that's beside the point. Uriel loves Ian Armitage, the actor who plays Young Sheldon in the show. Young Sheldon! I think that's what it's called. I don't exactly know.
What are you eating?
An English muffin with ketchup and spray cheese.
Uriel digitally stalked the young star, Ian Armitage, for years. Obviously, out of all of this, the most troubling constant is the stalking digitally, just harassing people. But doing so to a young child star is Daniel Larson levels of insanity. Bromberg even created an Ian Armitage-centered YouTube channel that amassed 260,000 subscribers by reposting short-form videos of Ian from his socials and just videos of him in general to YouTube Shorts. For all the mouth breathers out there. I love Young Sheldon. Oh, it's my favorite show. Bromberg's Ian Armitage fan channel was designed to appear connected to Armitage himself. It is impossible not to admit that. And this could potentially mislead the actor's young fans because he's a child. He's got a lot of child fans. At some point, Ian Armitage or his representatives became aware of this, and he had to tweet saying, "My only YouTube channel is Ian Loves Theater. Thank you, Young Sheldon, for setting the record straight. I really appreciate that." Bromberg would also claim in different posts that he was either the cousin of Ian Armitage or that Ian Armitage was his son. That's so weird. For a while, there were also posts that were discoverable on the Young Sheldon subreddit made by Bromberg, according to Connor, of him expressing desires for the underage actor. And you can see the person who posted it linking themselves back to Uriel Bromberg, by the way, in other comments. So this is 100% them. And then these people are like, what the wrong with this guy? So there's evidence that this is Uriel and evidence that this is weird, even though the post was removed. And if you went on his profile at the time as well, he had a massive weird foot fetish. He loves feet. He's on Foot Finder. Uriel Bromberg, Foot Finder. Now, I don't like stalkers, but Uriel Bromberg does have some pretty good feet. Uriel also doubled down on his weirdness and released music that has to do with Ian Armitage, which is just so odd. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. I don't even know what that means, but it happens to me whenever I think about this. A song titled Ian on TV was released April 22nd, 2022 on Bandcamp, and another track called Jimmy was released, and according to Connor, it contained disturbing references to the child actor. So we're establishing a fairly strange, I would say, pattern of behavior here. It's clear to see, this guy's crazy. Now what happens when you talk about it? When you say, hey man, quit being a freakazoid, you weird just stop. All you have to do is just stop. Well, Cult Coffin didn't say exactly what I just said, but that creator made a video documenting Uriel Bromberg's freakazoid shit that was later taken down after harassment from Bromberg. Another creator named Jessica also made a video that Bromberg actually had removed. And she apparently still receives hate from Bromberg or forms of harassment from that as well. It's a really interesting strategy. Whenever someone says anything about you, you somehow reach out to YouTube or reach out to Instagram or reach out to Twitter and say, I don't know exactly what you say to get, I can't get people's shit taken down. There's 2 videos that I've tried to get taken down because they're just total re-uploads of my own videos. Couldn't even do it. And then this guy can harass people and get people's commentary videos pointing out his insanity taken down with 0 repercussions because the YouTube support system, the Instagram support system is even worse than YouTube, and the Twitter support system is non-existent unless you ask Grok, help! It sucks that people can abuse these systems without facing any sort of consequences. I expect to be harassed. I expect some kind of privacy complaint or something in regard to this video. Even though Uriel Bromberg is not the real name of the guy, his name's Bobby Dark Chocolate. I don't know what his name is. It's probably Marshall or John or Bill or some random white guy name. I don't know. Wait, he's Brazilian. I forgot about that part. I totally forgot about that part. Frankie, your daddy's a dumbass. At this segment of the video, let's ask the Holy Relic what he thinks. Excuse me, Holy Relic, what do you think someone like Uriel Bromberg would do to someone like Connor Ferguson or me or anyone trying to stand up to him and may potentially become a target of harassment?
Mass reporting campaigns, content removal, abuse of copyright system, evade moderation.
What the hell? That guy just spit some knowledge and flew away. Did you see that shit? Uriel is very good at weaponizing platform reporting systems against critics. It's been shown by many people. Another creator by the name of CC Suarez also covered this, but didn't have their videos taken down yet. They're not gonna be taken down. I actually called her and talked to her about the situation a little bit and learned some pretty interesting stuff.
Who's this? Just kidding. Chelsea Suarez. She's been harassed by the Fiend, the subject of today's video. Crazy guy. It's wild how people can just harass you and get away with it for a really long period of time, allegedly. I'll just keep it really brief and short and try to take up as little of your time as possible. So Uriel, right? What is the, can you give me just like a really basic sort of story, how you heard about this guy or you made a video about it or where'd you find out about it first? Just, you know, sort of a one step.
Yeah, so I, for my videos, because I mean, I do social commentary too, and I was on, I believe it was on the YouTube drama subreddit and, you know, just perusing for topics as one does. And I came across Connor's story on there, and I was like, what is happening here? And I think it was the Young Sheldon tie-in that I was like, excuse me? So I read through all that and then really just fell down the rabbit hole, and I was like, okay, I need to make a video about this. And one thing that made me really want to make a video about it is that it seemed like the other 2 people who had previously made videos about it, their videos were taken down, and I personally hate that. whenever people try to silence commentary channels or scare them into, you know, not speaking. I can't stand that. So I can't shut up. So I need to, you know, take one for the team. And I have, I mean, people try to get my videos taken down constantly. I'm sure that happens to you maybe too. But I haven't had any taken down, thank God. But he obviously tried multiple times. Is still trying to this day. So.
What else is he doing? Is he, you know, because he's pretty wild with Connor. The level at which he's willing to go to try to mess with him. What's the worst thing that he's done to you? Just try to take your videos down and fail. Fortunately.
Yeah. So I mean that, and then also he's tried to have he's mass reported all of my accounts, and obviously I'm assuming it's him. There isn't anyone else right now that I've made content about that would have done that. And then receiving a lot of phishing emails that kind of match like his vernacular and his cadence, so to speak, and calling my husband's employer and like emailing them and stuff like that.
That's weird, yeah.
Hilarious. And like it's just so funny because it's like my husband is a master deputy. Like he's been with them for 12 years. Like what the are you doing? So yeah, and obviously most of the stuff he says is pretty belligerent. Y'all should definitely, you know, put on some mood lighting, turn on his music on Spotify, maybe do some acid first. But yeah, it's a lot. But yeah, he's crazy. He's threatened me a lot. He's threatened to sue me, to have my entire channel taken down, to sue YouTube. And then the latest thing was that he, because he couldn't get my videos taken down for copyright or for privacy or anything like that. And so then he took the audio of my 2 videos and then uploaded them to a random Spotify podcast that he has. And this was a month after I had posted my videos. And then he then tried to say, okay, YouTube, now this is how it's copyright because this is actually my content that she stole. Which is like, you're trying to frame me for copyright infringement when you posted it a month after, and then even in the audio, it's just my audio ripped.
Yeah.
And it even has my Ground News ad read in it. And it even says, like, I'm Chelsea, I'm a lady with a camera, a bulldog, and too many opinions. And yet he's trying to say that that's his. I haven't gotten that taken down yet, but it's also just like, I don't care enough to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's pretty psychotic. I think he now realizes that, well, probably not because he's delusional, but he really just does keep going after Connor. And I mean, Connor can't even like change a profile picture, and him having like verified accounts is sketchy as well because obviously like you need your ID to have that. So it's like, how is he doing that? So yeah.
What do you think? What do you think the most help like that I could be in regard to all this stuff? Because I obviously want to help Connor as much as possible, and I feel like a lot of people. Well, there's a couple of bigger YouTubers. I mean, who's the biggest content creator with the most platform influence, whatever you want to call it, who has covered this so far? Why hasn't it been bigger? I feel like it's just such a.
Like an asshole, but I think it's me.
Yeah, that's not an asshole. That's just being honest. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's me.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think I hit like 175,000 yesterday, but yeah, it's wild that it hasn't been talked about.
I know.
That's like when I found it, I was like, there's so many weird like side quests of it, like the fraud he's committed.
Uriel Bromberg is a talented
you
artist,
really
singer,
just
songwriter,
fucking
and game
change?
developer who
You just go over there and hit a button on the keyboard until something changes. I was like 20 minutes into that video. What are you doing? How did you figure that out? He figured out how to pause the video. He literally went up and hit the fucking stop play button, like the F6, F5 or something. How does he know how to do that? Have I left my video playing and you just stop it? That's noise you don't like. Oh, he's like, that's better. No noise. Wow. I'm impressed. I'm for real impressed. Wow. Wow. Let's clip it. What? That's crazy. Gummy! Why would you do that? Gummy! Stop! I'm fucking closing all the windows. You get none now. You get none. Oh my god. He fucking just knocked my fucking box with my fursuit to the floor. I knew he would, but holy fuck. Dude. I can't fucking put anything down anymore. What is fucking wrong with you, cat? I literally can't put anything anywhere right now. You will literally fucking knock it all to the fucking floor. I'm getting annoyed. Closing the fucking windows, you fucking asshole. Stop being a dick. Why are you being an asshole? I can't let you outside. Someone's gonna fucking shoot you, Gummy. Fucking asshole. Why are you purring? you want to make me mad now? What about your hand? My turn. Yeah? What's so fucking funny, buddy? You fucking purring? Why are you purring? I'm mad! Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I don't even understand you, buddy. I literally go up there to yell at my cat, and he's fucking purring. Why is he purring? Is this funny? Oh, I got him mad. Ha ha ha. Well, guess what, Gummy? I'm closing all the fucking windows. And I'm putting the curtains closed, too. You don't get to even look outside. Stop being a dick. I'm not letting you outside. Jesus Christ, Gummy. Aren't you annoying? Aren't you annoying, buddy?
Young Sheldon actor, like it's.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, I don't understand that, and then how he continues to get away with all of this. Like his channel just got verified on YouTube, and I'm like, how? I'm not even verified on YouTube. Like, what the hell? I don't. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
I don't know why people haven't covered it at all.
I mean, ideally the domino falls and then a bunch of commentary YouTubers do it and then he just has too many enemies and it's not possible for him to keep up. That's the best one.
Because that's what, he definitely like spirals a good bit and like disappears for a little bit after he loses, so to speak. Like he didn't get my videos taken down for a bit and then like I didn't hear from him and then neither did Connor. And so a lot of people were saying like, oh, well, he's probably like his ego's hurt or like that's usually what he does is he'll like retreat and he'll like rebrand or
Interesting.
kind of like wipe his digital footprint and then like that's what happened the first time he got called out by Connor and then after Jessica or Jessica however you want to pronounce her username she's really nice.
Never
opened
that one.
He
He's
had
like,
her
yeah,
videos
well, you
taken
can close
down.
my nose, I can open them.
And she even said, she was like, yeah, I don't want to talk about it now because, and like on her channel again because, and her video was great, but she's like, I don't want to lose my channel. And
of course.
That could happen, unfortunately, because he was successful with getting her stuff taken down.
Okay.
Which is stupid.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, hopefully we can do something about it, though. I really appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you, Chelsea. I really appreciate it. And yeah, if there's anything you can think of, just DM me on Instagram.
I will. Thanks.
Cool.
Have a good day.
Yep. You too. Thank you so much.
Bye.
I don't know why I did that. No, that was awesome. She seems really nice. Yeah. So yeah, that was cool. Good. All right. I'm kind of excited because I don't really want. I don't want this guy to like with my like friends and family and stuff because I have like employees. That's why I've been so hesitant. I don't want him to like fish my grandmother because she's already a victim to that as it is. Just, I don't know. I don't want to create more targets. Hopefully we can just be like, hey, dude, just stop.
I wonder if I can upload something.
Weirdo. Just quit it. Or else, nah, there's nowhere else. You'll just get banned from the platforms because you can't abuse the copyright system, so. Anyways.
All the people who have covered this all seem like good people, and they don't deserve their videos to be taken down. It's just their platforms aren't quite to the level where YouTube gives a and it takes way too long to get to that point. And there's even examples of some creators with large platforms that have just straight up been ignored as well, which is really unfortunate. But I think we're gonna be able to solve this problem. I think that this is gonna be a good, hopefully positive turn for all of this. Everybody hates copyright abusers. How about we copy strike him? How about we just do the exact same shit he's been doing to everybody else, to him? Why can't we do that? Oh, because it's against TOS? Oh, why the f did he do it? I'm gonna turn red and pop. This is the most rampant case of platform abuse, moderation abuse I have ever seen on YouTube, Reddit, whatever the f. It is unbelievable that this hasn't been covered by more large YouTubers, and it is unbelievable that it has gone this far. Somehow this guy has about him removed for privacy violations. He enacted privacy violation monitor. Who is this guy? Why does he have connections to the world? It also gets worse. He's even able to do more stuff. What the f If we skip forward to the beginning of 2024, Connor has his entire TikTok series trying to talk about this taken down. This dude somehow has Connor by the balls, and it makes no sense as to why the that's possible. So yeah, man, it really just grinds my gears. Let's make fun of Uriel for about 5 minutes, okay? Not only is he an expert at harassment and deception in general, he's an expert at musical deception. Not only did he appropriate Connor Ferguson's early songs, in 2023, he released a song titled LARP, featuring Gorillaz, which is like a real band. Obviously, this was created without their knowledge or their permission. And it sounded just like this. Like country, it's kind of a weird vibe for him. It's interesting. I don't mind it though. I like the lap steel.
I wish I had my foreskin back. God, please return it.
Okay. That's interesting. It was kind of a bit of a out of left field. I didn't expect that, but this is an internet mystery, the likes of which we've never seen before, and it deserves to be talked about and understood and seen. Because it's crazy. The whole Ian Armitage thing is the most mind-boggling piece. It goes as far as Uriel Bromberg even photoshopping a picture of himself. Sorry, not himself, but Connor Ferguson, who is Uriel Bromberg, with Ian Armitage, and then uploading that to Wikimedia Commons. Why? Why would you do that? This is just so creepy, dude. I just can't believe that this is real. And the fact that Uriel was pretending to be Connor and posting on some fan pages, like to Brazilian accounts, becoming friends with these people, then the real Connor finds out about this, and the Brazilian people who are talking to fake Connor, aka Uriel, finding for good. You know, impersonating you, stealing your likeness. I got a song coming up called Reputation, and it's coming up next. Of course, you'll have all the money because I've never spent. Voice note. Hello, Connor. Just making sure you've seen my message. Another voice note. Hey, Connor, have you seen latest episode of Black Mirror? It's not a very good Brazilian accent, Portuguese accent, whatever. But I respect your decision you make, and just let me know. Take your time. Absolutely not. You've been harassing and stalking me for years. Harassing? No, I never did anything against you. But you gotta have the money. That is fair. What a weirdo. How strange and bizarre and funny and f***ed up this is. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Read this. Just pause the screen and read this. This is unbelievable! I'll read it too. Basically, he's comparing himself to the real Connor Ferguson and saying, Uriel, he wasn't like that. He was kind, talented, and iconic. He sounds like Seinfeld now. I don't want to play the victim here, but I have lupus. And I don't want you to feel sorry for me. I was just having fun for the little rest of my life. Of course, he's gonna die soon. Shit. Sorry, Connor. I'm gonna have to spin this one around back on you, brother. This guy's got lupus. He's the victim. You don't need to expose like, oh, he's fake, I'm the real one. Because people still love me and you. Not because of our physical, but my iconic personality that I built just for you. I just can't imagine being tormented in this way. It's so weird.
Therefore, I was you, and I don't want to be you anymore. I once enjoyed, but it kept me employed. I took it too far. I wish I was born health. I wish I could dance. Well, at least you're popular now, and that's what I actually wanted. I might eat shit and kill myself.
Shut up. So he admits guilt and then just keeps on using the photos, though. Yeah, I don't understand this at all, dude. The dude is a lunatic. By the way, that was back in 2023. He actually went to war with Uriel in 2024. Man, I thought you had lupus. I thought you were gonna die. This whole thing's so confusing, so bizarre, so all over the place. There's lighthearted parts, there's f***ed up parts. It's a really interesting thing, and I genuinely hope something good can come out of me making a video on it. I really wanted to do something good, hopefully. I really hope that this isn't just bad. All right, I genuinely, I'll remove my video immediately if something bad happens, I promise. So if this video goes down, that's why. I don't want anything bad to happen, and I'm directly talking to Connor, and he wants me to make the video, so it's cool. It's totally cool, above board.
My name is Connor Douglas Ferguson. I'm a Canadian musician and songwriter, and I am the victim of Uriel Bromberg. For years now, both behind the scenes and publicly, I have been fighting for the right to literally just exist online. This is after I discovered that this person who had been sending me strange messages for years had essentially stolen my identity and fooled thousands of people into believing he was me. Since this initial discovery, it has been a war of attempting to stop this person from silencing me through any means they can. If you added up every single email, report, counterclaim, or attempt at contacting someone with the power to do something, it would easily be over 500, probably more. He has manipulated the reporting systems of every single major social media platform. At this very moment, I'm banned from X for probably the 10th or so time because of deceptive identity reports, despite the fact that I show them my real ID every time and eventually get the account back. I haven't been able to and still can't post anything to my Instagram without him filing some sort of unappealable copyright takedown. And this is despite paying monthly for their Meta Verified service to confirm that I am who I say I am with my passport. Their support systems basically gaslight me and act like nothing is happening. I just got my TikTok account back after about 6 months of it being banned. And frankly, that was only because I had a friend of a friend who was an employee and he helped out. He got my real music removed from Spotify temporarily through false copyright claims, which again was only resolved because I was able to pull some strings. He is openly manipulating all these platforms, even though I've had direct contact with many of them to inform them of what he's doing. If you go look up the folk singer Bonnie Dobson on Spotify right now and look at the canvas on her profile, you'll see that he's gained access to her Spotify for Artists page and is using it to promote his own work. It's the same thing he's done with major artists like Sophie and Gorillaz. He steals and defrauds artists of all backgrounds and notoriety. He has attempted to steal songwriting royalties from musicians I know, and the royalty companies have now confirmed this to me firsthand, but they are essentially uninterested in trying to take the issue any further. I've hired lawyers to defend me this year who sent official letters to Spotify and to the songwriting royalty companies and to the social media platforms in an attempt to explain the situation, but all of these have been largely ignored. The same lawyer sent him a cease and desist to try and stop his targeted abuse of me, but he has continued to violate it and do everything he's been doing for years. I think there are many reasons why I became a fixation for this person in the first place, and I think that it has to do both with my own pursuits of being a musician, as well as being an openly gay man and expressing my sexuality with pride. Along the way, I have been accused of this being some giant plot for self-promotion, when in reality, I've just been fighting tooth and nail to even be able to be online and promote what I do. This person has weaponized my identity and my sexuality against me in order to try and silence me, which is hilarious to me when this entire situation stems from them initially professing love and obsession with me anonymously. When I rejected those advances, the abuse began. There's a significant portion of the world's population who would probably say that by virtue of identifying as LGBTQ+, that you are inherently a danger to children just by virtue of that alone. What's ironic to me about that idea is that I am a proud adult gay man who has been targeted by someone who I think undeniably should be looked into for being a danger to children, and frankly, a danger to society as a whole. And all my pleas have been ignored by every single institution with the power to do something to stop him. Jessica, a trans woman and a creator who regularly exposes many online predators, has received by far the most vitriolic and transphobic harassment from this individual as a consequence of speaking up about him. What I hope anyone who hears my story takes away from it is that if you have understandable concerns about the safety of children online, do not direct this ire to the entire LGBTQ+ community. You should instead direct it to these social media platforms and institutions that I can firsthand attest do next to nothing about dangerous and abusive individuals on their platforms, as this person has been getting away with this and continues to get away with it for years. Thank you.
I can't imagine wanting to create things online and wanting to, grow a platform, make music, and share this fun thing that you can share with a bunch of people and then eventually potentially make it your job and that just be completely smothered by a lunatic, a crazy lunatic in Brazil. Just some guy with a foot fetish who loves Ian Armitage, the child actor. I just can't imagine that. So go support Connor, go support CC Suarez, all the other YouTubers who have been impacted by this freak and anybody else. He's been doing this for a really long time. Comment down below your guys' thoughts on this entire situation. Most of the evidence comes firsthand from Connor, and obviously the posting history of people referring to themselves as Uriel Bromberg. So we can see like Reddit posts and all sorts of shit, YouTube, Spotify, it's everywhere. It seems not real or not possible or like it's all made up and none of it's real. Maybe I'm getting catfished, but I have no fucking idea. It's very confusing. Anyways, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, press the like button down below. I'll see you in the next one.
So what, are you kind of wondering why you're here?
Well, I've been talking
So
with Brenda.
what did they tell you when they
Nobody's
arrested you? Did they tell you what the charge was?
Am I arrested?
Yeah.
They didn't tell me.
Yeah, they did arrest you, so you are under arrest.
And what am I arrested for?
Murder. You know, you didn't expect that car to be found. I know that. When it was found, you know what was in the trunk as well as I do.
The reason your husband is under arrest is because I have evidence, okay? And your husband is going to be booked tonight for murder.
When an old Honda Accord was abandoned in northeast Spokane, Washington State on October 22nd, 2021, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. After all, there were plenty of other abandoned cars in the area, and at first, nobody thought anything of it. But dogs kept sniffing around it, and when some local residents approached the car, they were met by an overpowering foul smell. Then, when they forced open the trunk, they made a gruesome discovery. Because inside was a heavily decomposed human body, and within hours, a homicide investigation had swung into action to find out who the body belonged to, who had killed them, and how they had ended up being left to rot in the vehicle. The car wasn't supposed to be there. It had spent the last 11 months in a much more remote part of Spokane, where the murderer had left it after removing the battery so nobody would be able to drive it. And that's where it was supposed to stay. But then somebody decided to break into it, fit it with a new battery, and drive it to where it was discovered. The whole time with no idea about the grisly secret it contained. That's how the body was found, and the police quickly identified the deceased person as Andrew Sorensen, who had been reported missing just short of a year previously. This in turn led them to John Eisenman, the father of Andrew's girlfriend, Stephanie, and he was duly taken in for questioning over Andrew's death as the prime suspect. But could he have really killed his daughter's boyfriend? And what could have been his motive? Police were very keen to find answers to these pressing questions, and John Eisenman was the one man who could provide them. Andrew Sorensen had been adopted at 6 months old, despite his cerebral palsy, and his adoptive parents had dedicated their lives to caring for him. They described him as a kind and loving child. He was named most affectionate in kindergarten and was awarded kindest heart at school at the age of 10. However, as he grew up, it became clear that as well as having cerebral palsy,
I'm sure I picked up my phone like 20 minutes ago to see if I could upload Twitch stickers, and I've already forgotten.
At 17,
Alright, let's try again.
he started hanging out with homeless people, perhaps feeling most at ease with other social misfits and outcasts, and he began bringing some of his new friends back to his parents' home with him. His mother didn't mind this, and she even helped some of them apply for food stamps, enroll in GED programs, or get their Medicaid cards. But by 18, things were getting worse, and Andrew began smoking marijuana before moving on to other types of illicit drugs. It was around this time that he was introduced to Stephanie Eisenman, and the two soon began dating. Stephanie's parents, John Eisenman and Brenda Cross, who were not married but were in a long-term relationship, as a way of getting his hands on the money for himself. It appears that at some point, Andrew persuaded Stephanie to spend her money on a car, and the couple, accompanied by several other friends, then embarked on a drug-fueled road trip to Seattle. But once there, the group got split up, and everyone managed to return to Spokane except Stephanie. According to Andrew's parents' version of what happened, this was because everyone left their phones in the car, and the car was then stolen, which left them with no way of contacting each other. However, when Stephanie finally called her parents to come and pick her up 2 weeks later, she told her mother that Andrew had sold her to a sex trafficking ring for $1,000 to raise money to buy more drugs. Obviously, this was devastating news to Stephanie's parents, and they were understandably enraged by what they thought Andrew had done to their daughter. But then when Stephanie's parents took her to a hospital and the police became involved, Stephanie refused to press charges against Andrew, so it seemed he was going to get away with everything he had done to their daughter scot-free. There had already been a deep feeling of distrust and resentment towards Andrew, even before the ill-fated road trip to Seattle. But what they now believed had happened to Stephanie seemed to push the couple over the edge, and this led directly to what happened next. Andrew had previously borrowed Stephanie's father's telephone to access Facebook and had left his password on the phone. Through this, John discovered that Andrew was supposedly planning a burglary, and with this information concerning Andrew's whereabouts, John determined to confront Andrew at the property he planned to rob. John Eisenman wanted answers, and he wanted to know why Andrew had sold his daughter to a sex ring. But was it possible that Eisenman had made a mistake? Had Andrew really done what Stephanie had accused him of? Unfortunately, when Eisenman caught up with Andrew, events quickly spiraled out of control, and he never had the chance to find out. Before he knew it, Andrew was zip-tied and lying dead in the trunk of the Honda Accord, having been hit over the head with a cinder block and stabbed multiple times in the abdomen. And that's where he would remain for almost a year until his body was finally discovered in an advanced state of decomposition. Within a week of the body being found in the car, John Eisenman was located and brought in for questioning. The cops already had firm evidence that he was responsible for the death, but they wanted to give him the chance to come clean about the murder. They also wanted to find out exactly what had happened between John and Andrew that day, whether John had planned to kill him, and how their meeting had led to Andrew's death. At the same time, Brenda was separately brought to the police station, and she would be questioned first before the cops spoke to John. In her interview, she talked about how the Honda Accord had gone missing, and how she hadn't reported it because she didn't care about the car, and also because she believed her estranged daughter Ashley might have taken it. She then talked about how she thought Andrew was trying to manipulate Stephanie before going on to give her version of what happened when Stephanie went missing in Seattle.
So anyway, at what point do you find out she's in Seattle?
I got a phone call from her when I was driving.
Okay.
So I was still driving left at the time.
Okay.
And that was in 2019.
Okay.
So she had to disappear in 2019. And anyway, it was like, Steffi, are you okay? And she goes, I need you to come get me now.
Okay.
And I said, can I call you back in about 5 minutes? I got somebody in the car with me, a passenger.
Okay.
And can I give you a call back as soon as I can?
Right.
At the time, I didn't know what was really going on. I just knew that she was in Seattle.
Okay. Did you even know she was moving to Seattle?
No.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
No. I had not even known, I actually did not know she was in Seattle. I knew that she was, I didn't know where she was.
Gotcha.
That's basically what it was.
Gotcha.
We were worried about her.
Right.
Because that weasel, I still can't remember his name.
Okay.
Anyway, I kind of alerted something was going on with Stephanie.
Okay.
And Andrew. And anyway, she was pissed because I couldn't just drop what I was doing and talk to her.
Okay.
And she didn't sound right. And she goes, what did she say when I said, I'll call you back in 5 minutes? I can't, I won't be here. Or something like that.
Right.
And she hung up.
Okay.
And it was like, I was like terrified then. It was like, I don't know what happened. And then we didn't hear anything till later that next night, got another phone call from Stephanie. And I was sleeping. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning or so.
Right.
And she asked John, because John answered the phone,
Right.
if he can come get her. And we said, yes, where are you?
Thinking she's probably in Spokane.
No, we knew she was in Seattle at
okay.
this point, yeah.
Gotcha.
And actually she called me from, because I called back
This
the
doesn't make
number
any sense at all.
after I dropped that person off and found out she was in like Tequila
Oh, okay.
at a burger joint, some like In-N-Out burger,
Right.
and I think that's the name of it. And they said nope, she had left, and so, and we reported her as missing.
Oh, okay. Did you actually file a
Uh-huh.
report? Police report?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a police report.
Okay.
That would find your date.
Yeah, that would give me my date. Yeah, exactly.
So seriously,
How
my
old
dates
how,
are really
how
bad.
old was she at that time? What do you think? Was she 18 yet, or?
She was 18.
Okay.
And now she's 19. So it was last year.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the report said 2020.
Really?
But like I said, I can check. It's not a big deal. But anyway,
It
so
is
anyway.
a big deal. I'm losing my mind.
That's okay. So
Yeah, I watched
John
these
gets
a
on the
lot.
phone. She
So
wants
2020, huh?
she
I
wants
should
to
be
get
doing my
picked up.
artwork though.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
And then I think I talked
Oh,
to her.
I didn't even take my
Okay.
meds.
What did she tell you
Okay.
about what was going on?
No, he talked to her.
Okay.
And found out
I was
where she
thinking
was.
last night, am I supposed to be taking 2
and
pills
then
of
found
work?
out she was safe, because we didn't know what was going on.
Right.
And that somebody could, sit with her, or she's okay. And then, because we still didn't know what was going on.
Right.
And so, I just knew that she was abandoned there.
Okay.
That's all I knew, is that, Andrew abandoned her there.
Oh, so the Andrew that you knew was the same one that apparently abandoned her there.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And it's nobody that I would have known. She
Right.
brought him there to the house.
Gotcha.
So I would not, no.
So you had
She said,
previously met Andrew
because of her.
because she brought him to the house.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shady bastard.
Okay.
I mean, anybody that he brought over, and I'm going, don't be bringing people to my house.
Right.
He goes, well, this is my brother. It's like,
Nice.
or cousin.
I got a pill.
It's like, and how many cousins do you have?
So now, who brought Andrew to your house? This little
First
wee-
Stephanie.
First Stephanie. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And that was fine.
Right.
But then he started bringing people over, and it's like,
Oh, Andrew started bringing people
Yeah.
over. Okay, now
Yeah,
I'm on
it's
the same
like,
page.
no.
And you didn't like that.
no,
Okay.
no, and especially calling people brother and bro
So-
and cuz when they're not even related to him.
So what did I mean? These people he brought over, when you say they're shady, like were you concerned they were criminals, gang members?
I
Did
was
you
just
know?
Just the fact that
concerned
they
they were
were gonna
strangers?
come and rip us off.
Okay. Okay.
So
So let's see. She's over in Seattle, and she tells you that she wants a ride or get picked up,
mhm.
and then
So John
she
and I
says she's
take
safe.
off
Okay, so like, do you guys take off the next morning or that night or?
that night.
Oh, really? So you guys
That morning.
boom, or do you sleep anymore, or just get up
Get up, go.
and go?
Mhm.
So the two of you drive to
Seattle.
Kent, Seattle, Tacoma, or do you remember?
Downtown Seattle.
Okay, so you get there, and where is she at?
Or right outside Seattle.
Okay.
She's there's this hotel.
I don't know where they
I
have
think it's
got this
abandoned
old sweater,
hotel,
but I like it.
And then there's a big
I'm getting
like,
kind of
apartment
chilly.
complex.
Okay.
John would know more. He drove.
Okay.
And
Just the two of you went.
mhm.
Okay.
Yep. And so we see her, or they're calling us back, or she's calling us, making sure that we're on our way.
Okay.
Yeah, we're almost there. We're almost there.
Right.
Because we stopped.
This lady's
over
crazy. She's not making any sense.
On the way, like at Starbucks, and got a muffin, and I need some coffee. I was about ready to fall back out.
Right.
And I think I drove. So, got some coffee and like a muffin or something. And so Starbucks had just opened. Anyway, start driving in, she tells us exactly where she's at, so pull on in, and I guess some homeless dude actually was helping her.
Oh, okay.
So somebody that didn't know her previously.
Right.
So, and she's beat up, and it was not good.
Right. Right. So you guys get there. Was Andrew there when you got there?
No.
Okay. So you guys get there, and what does she tell you happened, or why? I mean.
She was pretty vague,
Okay.
but at the same time, she's what happened. All I really knew.
She's really angry because she's fucking on drugs.
Got into a fight.
Okay.
And this is all she was letting me know.
Right.
And that he left her in Seattle.
Okay.
But come to find out, when I'm on my way home, because we went for lunch, like at Denny's or something, or early breakfast, and then we went shopping. She needed some new clothes, so I stopped at like a Goodwill over there, going out of town.
Right.
One of the little towns right there.
Right.
Not Tukwila, but
Issaquah.
Maybe Issaquah. Yeah. So went there and like seen secondhand store. Oh yeah, or what was it? I don't know if it was Goodwill, but Value Village or something like that. And so stopped there. You can get some really good shit.
Right.
I resell clothing. So stopped there, got her a few outfits, and then she was just acting really weird. But got her a few outfits, and then we started getting back in the vehicle, and we were leaving. And then John went out right away. He was really tired.
Okay.
And then on the way back, she starts telling me, I said, so what's been going on with you? What's happened? And then she tells me that she was abandoned by, or sold for drugs for $1,000 from Andrew to somebody in sex trafficking.
So Andrew sold her for $1,000 for some drugs. And basically, did it sound like she actually, did she get stuck having to sadly have sex with guys, or was she able to, so that she wasn't able to escape until she actually ended up having sex with some Johns?
She was locked in a room.
Okay.
And several had, they were with her, is what she said.
After letting Brenda talk a bit more about Andrew, the officer then gets to the point.
So, I can imagine, Brenda, you gotta be sitting here wondering probably why you're sitting down here in a police interview room. I would think I'd be wondering that, right?
Well, I've been wondering, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, what I can...
Something to do with the car.
Yes, it has to do with the car.
I'm wondering, did it hit somebody, hit and run or something?
So let me tell you something, and I'm going to be completely honest with you, okay? Because I've been doing this for 36 years, and I learned a long time ago. I tell people the truth, I respect them. I understand that we're all human beings. We all make mistakes. Things happen. A lot of times people do things for certain reasons that at the time they believe are very valid, and sometimes I agree with them. But I'm not here to bullshit you. I'm just here to get the truth about what I'm investigating, okay? What I can tell you is also, so we found your car, right? Like I said, that. In fact, we found it the 22nd of October, which would have been Friday, in the early morning hours.
Okay, you guys showed up on Friday.
And then I showed up Friday to talk to you, but you weren't home. And I talked to John.
Down at the Queen Cafe.
Yeah, and then I talked to John.
Yeah, I know.
For a while, is what he told me. And
He
then,
didn't know I went there.
yeah, and then I left, and then obviously.
I didn't know I was gonna go there either. I just walked in there and it's like, oh, this place clean sober? Okay.
I think Racer bought subs
And
from
then
this
I obviously
stream.
came back Sunday and talked to you. Okay? So, the investigation, I have this notebook and then I have two more. Okay, so this is more than just finding a car. Okay? So I'm going to be completely honest with you. This is not, because you can imagine, the police department finding a car, huh?
This is death, homicide?
Yeah. So,
3 average viewers.
We talked on Sunday. You told me that you had heard that Andrew was missing, right? How did you find out that Andrew was missing?
Stephanie.
Okay, what did Stephanie tell you?
Dad, Andrew's cousin called, I think, asking if she'd heard from you.
Okay.
Saying that he was sick.
Do you know when Stephanie told you this? That she heard
It
that
was
he
right away. I think the day that she got out.
Oh, and would it have been last year, this year? Do you remember?
It was after she got out of the hospital.
Oh, so shortly after she got out of Sacred Heart, all of a sudden Andrew was missing. So within a very short period of time from hospital, Steffi's there, you said about 4 days, I thought you said maybe? 3 or 4 days?
Yeah, and then she ended up at Kalispell for probably about a week.
Okay, so would it have been after Kalispell or after Sacred Heart, you think, when you found out that Andrew was missing?
Oh, it was a little while after that.
A little while after Kalispell or the hospital?
Both.
Both, okay.
The hospital first, then Kalispell.
Gotcha.
And then home.
Okay, and like days, weeks?
Probably weeks.
Huh?
Weeks, probably.
Okay, so a couple weeks or 3 weeks after she gets out of Kalispell, then all of a sudden she tells you that she's heard that Andrew was missing. Okay. So it was fairly quickly after the whole Seattle incident where Andrew turns up missing.
Yeah, and at first it was, I heard something about, he was going to somewhere over there by Seattle.
Okay.
That he had ended up moving over there.
That Andrew had?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what was all being said.
Okay, and you said it was his cousin that called Stephanie? You thought?
Yes.
Okay, do you
I think
know
so.
the cousin's name at all?
Yeah, in weird kind of things, Stephanie ended up dating him.
Okay, what's his name? No biggie. I mean, if you think about it, you think
Oh,
about
I'll think about it.
So the cousin calls Steph and says
That
Andrew
was just not too long ago.
Andrew's missing, and this would have been a couple weeks.
I think it was him.
Okay.
Somebody that knew him.
Okay, the new Andrew
Yeah, and
called and
Stephanie
said,
together.
"Hey, Andrew's missing."
Yeah, I think the mother wanted whoever to call Stephanie
The mother
of Andrew.
of Andrew. Okay, so sounds like Andrew's mom. I guess an adopted mom here, because he's adopted, right?
Yeah, and
So
I guess the
Andrew's,
mother
Andrew's
original-
adopted mom called somebody, and they called Stephanie and said, "Hey, Andrew's adopted mom would like a call from you
or would like to know information.
Okay.
When's the last time you seen
about where Andrew would be." Okay, gotcha. Did you ever hear what happened with that whole thing as far as?
No, last time I knew he was still missing.
Oh, okay. 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 So you have to understand as a police officer, okay, when we typically talk to somebody in an interview, we usually, I don't know, you ever watch cop shows?
Oh, I love them.
Okay, so have you ever watched like First
Law and Order?
48?
No, that one I haven't.
So
heard.
First 48's a show about homicide detectives.
Is it like
where they
a
follow homicide detectives?
live?
Yes, where they
Okay.
actually follow homicide
I've
detectives.
seen a little bit of it.
Yeah, I mean it's a good show. I watch it. I enjoy
You
it.
do.
So I'm sure you watch cop shows. Typically, when you're talking to somebody in an interview room, I know a lot of
I
answers.
need like a two-way mirror here.
Oh, I know that's fake. What I always love at cop shows, you know what I love, is when it's a dark room. There's like a swinging pendulum light, and they like sit in the like low light. It's like, oh, that's stupid. And the window too is the best too, like a two-way mirror.
That's what I was hoping for.
I'm sorry, we don't have a two-way mirror, and I can turn the
No,
lights
it's
off.
got camera.
I can turn the lights off if we want to go low light. But.
Nah.
So typically, before we bring somebody in the interview room, we know a lot of answers to the questions that we ask. So we're looking when we ask people questions to see, okay, are they telling the truth about the information that they're giving us? Because I already know the answers to a lot of questions. Okay? Because I got called out the night we
Are
found.
you trying to trick me?
No, I'm not. I will never trick you. I will promise you that. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. Okay?
Oh, really?
Yep. I'm not here to trick you.
Okay.
Okay? I got called out the early morning hours of the 22nd of October. Reference your car being found over in Hilliard.
Okay.
Okay? So your car was parked on the side of the street and it had been abandoned there.
Okay.
Okay?
And where did you say that was?
Over in Hilliard.
You said by some park.
Yeah, there's a park over there in the area of Everett in Nevada. Not Nevada, I'm sorry, Everett in Napa. There's a park over there, Rochester Heights Park. It's a small little park over there. So anyway, your car was over.
Hello. Haven't seen you for a bit. Oh yeah.
Yep, so he's not asleep with a freaking cereal box in his hand.
Funny. Right on. We smoking? We smoking? I guess Jimmy got caught talking to me and that girl freaked out and she came into my Twitch stream the other day. Oops. She came into my Twitch stream the other day, telling me to stop messaging or logging in his account because he doesn't have access to it anymore, so she knows it's me messaging myself. I'm like, why the fuck would I message myself? He's lying to you.
Yeah, and then she asked me to stop talking to you, and I'm like, fuck that. I'll talk to who I want to talk to.
Oh my god, she's such a cunt. When's the no contact order up? I think August? Or next year?
I think so. I think it's next year.
Next year or this year? I don't know.
Yeah, I went to see Hollywood Undead with Jimmy and Jaden. Hey, buddy.
Right on. Cool.
Yeah, it was a good party. I got a feather ear. No.
You got Jimmy's feather earrings?
From one of the girls at the concert.
Nice, huh? Cool.
I was acting like the mosh pit medic. Picking everybody up left, right, and center.
Right on.
I got like elbowed in the chest and knocked like 5 feet backward.
Oh, yikes.
And then, Mary Jane freaking gave me a black eye.
Were you around when my cat got shot?
Yeah.
He's all better now.
That's good.
But he's not allowed outside and he's throwing a fit right now. He wants to go outside.
Oh, Mary Jane. Yo.
Kibby.
Who's got your primordial pouch? Who's got your primordial pouch? Is it time to harvest the beans? No. Oh, they're not in season. Bean season.
The bean season.
Oh, baby girl. What? Ooh. What are you doing, sweetie?
So my mechanic said he will sell me an acre of land for $9,000 and we'll just go out there and put this mini house on it. And I said I'll pay my friend to build a garage with a grant. And then he can live in it over the winter and then maybe they'll keep me warm. Acorn? My cat's got a habit of fucking knocking stuff down lately. It's been driving me nuts. Nuts.
Speaking of nuts, Mary Jane likes to chase nuts. Oh, she had her fill today.
So I guess that chick made Jimmy block me on the last website or whatever. I ratted on him. I was just like, maybe he just doesn't like you. Maybe he just doesn't like you. Maybe he just wants to talk to me sometimes, dummy.
Yeah.
I would never tell Jimmy you can't talk to somebody. Like, what the fuck? I'm like, she's actually threatened to contact the police, and I said, go ahead and fucking do it, you cunt. I'm in New Brunswick. Also, you'll lose your boyfriend, you stupid. I said, do it. You want to lose your boyfriend? You want to lose your boyfriend? Call him right now. It was like 2 a.m. I said, call him right now.
And she ain't called him yet.
Yeah, I hope not. I said, do it. And she's like, I will. I was like, do it. Call him right now. And then right before she was probably about to do it, she's looking up a number and I said, by the way, he's the one with charges, not me. You fucking idiot. So no doubt in my mind, she's been like, oh, remove her or I'll tell the cops. What a cunt.
Can they see what if you're on Twitter? If you're on.
I post publicly. I post stuff publicly, and he's allowed to see stuff I post publicly. Like, you know what I mean?
Like, can they tell it for a conversation?
Yeah, we were having a private conversation in DMs, and she caught him. And she came onto my Twitch to talk about the fucking kink website on my Twitch feed. Which is fucking retarded. As rude as fuck.
Yeah, and she's very snug.
She's a snob. I don't like her. Just the very fact that she's just not allowed to, like, the very fact that she doesn't have a fucking job and she doesn't want Jimmy to walk away from her house at any point. Like, get a fucking life.
She doesn't even own her own house, and she nitpicks my place.
Yeah, for real. Like, get your own fucking place, cunt. Anyways, Jimmy can come out here and build me a cabin. I'm gonna have an acre of land.
I was getting really long.
We'll build a house.
I've been playing some Lego Fortnite. Check it out. Got my first order troop storage over here.
Right on.
Listening to some, I think it's St. Vitus is the name of the band.
Right on.
Sweet John. I don't change the music. Repetitive as fuck. Oh, it's great purple, huh? That's St. Vitus.
Yeah. Did I eat all the cheese? I bet I did eat all the cheese. Back up. All the cheese.
Oh, I got a new stash box. Check this out.
I gotta look for cheese right now. 1 second, Mark. Looking for my cheese. Oh, come on, Mark. Cheese.
I got a new stash box.
Oh, yeah? Cool. I made a box, but I still gotta figure out how to...
I bought like $80 worth of weed. I bought this, and then I got some keefs, some hash, and a joint.
Nice.
Got some White Widow.
I got an ounce of Bruce Banner Hybrid and an ounce of Alchivo Indica. I don't usually buy indicas. Nice.
I got this box for $5 at Value Village.
Nice.
I like it because it fits the decor of my room, and it looks like a very fantasy-like chest. And then we found this on the side of the road, so I picked this up.
Nice.
It's perfect.
Nice. Make sure it doesn't have any bed bugs or anything, or roaches or carpenter ants.
I got some wood glue, so that means it fits the hat stand that I have. Well, what kind of cheese is that? Mozzarella?
Pizza mozzarella.
My favorite is jalapeno Monterey Jack.
Nice.
And smoky Gouda.
My phone's at like 12%, but it's okay. Are we having a toke? I gotta clear the bowl first before I pack a new one. Give me a sec. been tapping my weed into this sink all winter. Well, not all winter, like 3 months now.
I like that onesie. I like that onesie. It's like kind of like from.
It's actually just a
70s,
sweater.
It's kind of modern too.
It's
a sweater.
It's a sweater. Yeah, it's kind of old, right? It's fuzzy, but then the back is like, it's like a jacket. It looks like a jacket, but it's also fuzzy and cute. I don't know. Very effeminate jacket. Sorry.
I think that instead of being labeling as gay or straight or as gay or whatever, just call yourself an effeminate man.
Yeah. They used to say metrosexual. Remember that?
Yeah.
Metrosexual.
I remember when I thought a metrosexual man was a gay guy who couldn't get laid, and I was totally wrong.
Nah.
I'm pretty sure it's just the guy who's not into getting laid. He's like not into the sex part of it.
A metrosexual is someone who's straight but they look gay. Or it was like a way for men to shame men into not doing basic hygiene. What are you, some sort of metrosexual?
I just got ash all over myself trying to empty this by blowing it into the ashtray. The ash all over myself, clearing nothing from the bowl.
Where's your toker poker? Where's your toker poker? You don't have a real... Didn't I give you a real toker poker? We lose them all, don't we? That shit gets snatched up so fast. Oh, that was gross. I saw it jump out of your mouth.
Yeah.
That's making me gag. Yeah. You did a real hawk tour there. I saw the tour. It jumped.
It's like, I'm free!
Yeah. Did a little... like a unicorn in front of the fucking midnight moon. Do you remember that song? Always, I wanna be with you and make believe with you. with the Oh, Robot Unicorn Attack. That's Robot Unicorn Attack. But the actual music video is a fucking hilarious. It was definitely like a tribute to the original. It was also crazy. Trying to... Ugh. I don't want to eat more cheese. I want to wrap it up.
Oh, this is a good song.
So what do you want to do? You gonna play some Pal World?
I still gotta download that one. What's it on again? It's on,
It's not on Game Pass anymore, I don't think.
I don't have Game Pass.
Oh, okay. It's like, I have it on Steam, but it's cross-compatible now, so you can play it on anything.
PlayStation.
Yep. It's just not on Nintendo, obviously. Nintendo does not like them. Nintendo has a big problem with them.
How are they? How is Power World even still able to exist? They just made it a bit more different so that they could.
They made, yeah, they did change a couple things. You used to have to buy, you used to have to catch 10 to get like the upgrade XP, but that's the same number as Pokemon, so they had to change it to 12.
Oh, so they had to change the copyright purposes.
Kind of silly, yeah. I'm about to lose this microphone.
I like this music, very mellow.
Sorry, which? Back up. No more Pal World. You're supposed to be doing artwork. My phone's dead. I can't do artwork. Alright.
I saw somebody trying to play. I saw somebody play like either it was Pokemon or Power World, and what they did was there's these two, basically or what looked like a Diglett, and somebody put two Power Balls bottom of them, and it looked like a dick.
I'm so far in my Pal World thing.
Like 4 days.
You've been drinking Captain Morgan's for 4 days. Well, Jimmy would have had you do it in one night.
Me and him made it last 4 days.
How? How'd you make him stop? He drank the whole bottle in one night when I lived with him.
We used to drink whole bottles in one night, not more.
That's good. Yeah, holy fuck. You got Jimmy under your fucking thumb.
Don't let him drink too much.
Don't let him drink too much. I would have said the same thing, but then I guess I wouldn't also fucking tweak balls. Fuck that bitch. I'm taking Jimmy back. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Jimmy loves her. Just kidding. I've never heard Jimmy say that. Uh-oh. Did Power World update?
I got a new shirt.
Nice. Nice. I like the panther and the snake. That's cool.
I got it at West 49.
It's dope.
I like it because it's like old style tattooing. And I have a shirt.
Nice.
There's Leonard Skinner tattoos. So it fits with it. the back of the Leonard Skinner tattoo shirt, it says you want a tattoo, we'll give you one hotter than a goat's butt and a pepper patch.
What? That's funny.
Check out this mask I made.
Sick. No, that's scary as hell. That would scare the shit out of me if you wore that. I'd be like, is that real?
That's not me. That one I painted to look like it instead of that face paint one off.
Oh well. Do you post them on TikTok? There's lots. That's really popular on TikTok. Mask making.
Yeah, I do. I used to do TikToks with masks on.
Yeah, you can just like copy other people's like styles.
Yeah.
Look dope.
It's just the only thing on TikTok for filters that really fits my style. I remember when I did that. There's so much ink on this paper that it catches light. We call that complex cave drawings. Hey Jimmy, complex cave drawing.
Oops.
That
It's in the pins.
was a
Delete
genius.
message. Delete.
You don't know what he was saying. But it was so important you had to scribble all over the page. Oh, Mary Jane. Mary Jane. Ooh.
I gotta ask my friend to update her Power World again.
Oh, puppy bear. She fucking laughs about that. Your phones are 12% from the next group.
Sorry?
You said your phone's at 12%. I'm gonna let you go.
Oh, okay. Peace out. It's at 5 now. Lol. Alright. Charge the phone. Do I play a game of League? I guess I can't play Power World. I thought I was gonna play Power World. Apple World would have been funner than Power World. Alright, let's change it. I'm gonna do, League.
Over there, okay? So, you know, somebody called it in a victim, okay? So obviously the plates on the car, they come back to you, okay? So officers get there and they end up looking inside the vehicle, okay? So what do you think we found in the vehicle?
I have no idea.
Okay. See this? And what you read? What do you think we found in the vehicle?
Was there weapons or something?
No. Homicide, right?
Okay.
What do you think we found in the vehicle?
I don't know.
Well, if I'm a homicide investigator, what do homicide investigators do?
The only thing I could think of was there a weapon or something that you used? You said you found something in the vehicle.
I don't investigate weapons. What do homicide investigators do? What do we investigate?
Missing people, you dumb bitch, and you're looking for someone.
Murders. You just said the $100 question. So what do you think I found in your vehicle? A body.
Really?
Yep. And you know what? I know from my investigation that you know that. Okay, so let me tell you, Brenda, this ain't my first rodeo. I've been doing this 36 years, and I know that you exactly know everything about this thing, okay? Now, what I want you to do, Brenda, is don't dig yourself into a hole, okay? Because you don't want to go down that road. Because you don't want to get yourself caught up in something that at this point, right now, in this avenue, you have a chance to maybe kind of get off on a side road and help yourself. If you stay on the main road, you could be in a lot of trouble, okay? I'm trying to give you an opportunity here we need to talk about everything that happened involving this.
Did you want me to get in turn? Am I being accused of murdering?
No, at this point, I'm not accusing you of murder.
Because I didn't know there was a body in that car.
Okay, but let me tell you this.
I didn't know.
Who do you think that body was in that car, if you had to guess?
Considering that somebody's missing, possibly Andrew.
Okay. Okay, and Brenda, I've developed information.
I hope that was not the case.
Okay, we've developed information. I know for a fact that John was involved. Okay, I know that for a fact. So, like I said, I'm just looking for you to be honest with me. Okay, I'm not sitting here accusing you of murder, but what I am saying is you need to be completely honest with me about what happened, because you have knowledge reference this incident. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I know for a fact that you have knowledge. So what I need you to do is you need to sit here and we need to talk, and you need to tell me the knowledge that you have reference what occurred. That's what I need from you. John did it. I know that. Okay. Your boyfriend is going to be arrested shortly. So this is a time for you to be honest with me about what happened, because I know you have knowledge. Right? You know what happened. Okay, I'm not accusing you of murdering him. But Brenda, it's time to be honest with me.
You're accusing John of murdering him?
Yes. Yes.
And what knowledge do you have of that?
Okay, I'm not going to give you all what I have, okay?
You want me to give you information but you won't tell me anything?
Well, because you have to understand, the problem is, this is the problem. If I sit here and tell you what I know, right, then, like I told you before, the reason I ask questions is to just verify that what you tell me is either you're telling me the truth or you're not. If I sit here and tell you all the information I have about what I know and why I know it, then if I ask you a question, you already know everything I told you. I can't determine whether you're telling me the truth or not, okay? So I'm not going to sit here, I can't sit here and tell you what I know, because I just can't. But I'm trying to help you here, I really am, because I'm just trying to figure out, I get it. I get how angry John had to be. I understand as a father. I understand that this fucker did things to your daughter that no human being is supposed to do to daddy's girl. And I understand why your husband was angry. And I understand why he did what he did. Okay? But you need to be honest with me about what you know about this, okay? I know the car belongs to you. I know where the car was parked, where it sat. I know the names. I know the property where it was at. I know all these things, okay? I've been to the property where it was at. I've been pretty much working 24/7 on this case since the time I rolled up on Friday night last night and found a body in the back
property where it was
of your
at?
car. Huh?
What property?
It's up above Riverside. I know exactly where it's at. Okay?
I didn't know where it was at.
Okay, well, I know where it's at, and I know where the car was parked. In fact, there were deputies up on that property back in March, and the car was sitting there. Okay? So I know, believe me, I've done my homework, Brenda, and like I said, I'm not trying to be an asshole. Not at all. I told you from the time I started that I was going to be completely honest with you, and I have been nothing but honest with you. There was a body in the back of your car. The body belongs to Andrew. I know from my investigation that John killed Andrew, and we need to deal with that.
How do you know that?
Believe
I don't believe that.
I have evidence from the car. Okay, I processed the car. People leave trace evidence behind. People leave other evidence behind. There's biological evidence. There's fingerprints. There's a whole array of evidence to get left when a crime occurs. So I have evidence, and I have other things. Am I going to sit here and tell you everything? Of course not, because I'm not going to do that. All I'm asking you, Brenda, is I get it. You're between a rock and a hard place. I completely understand that, because John is your boyfriend. Okay,
My fiance.
or fiance. I apologize. And I get it, you're between a rock and a hard place. But you also have to understand at this point, you don't want to get caught up into this to where we charge you. Okay? If you have knowledge, which you do, then all you need to do is be honest with me. That's it. Be honest with me about what you know, when this occurred, how it occurred. That's all I'm asking you, Brenda, is just be honest with me. That's it.
Sorry.
Okay?
I did not know there was a dead body in there.
Well, you may not know it was in the car, but you know that John killed him, and I know you know that. So I'm just saying.
Why did you say that I know that?
Because I talked to a whole bunch of people. A whole bunch of people. This wasn't a secret that was well kept among some people. So all I'm saying is, just be honest with me. I mean, look at this. Do you not think that Andrew's a piece of shit? I get it. But in the eyes of God and the eyes of everything else, you know, we have to make this right for whatever happened. And there's mitigating circumstances. And I'm going to talk to John, okay? And I will ask John. I mean, I get it. I get the anger. I get what he did to his daughter. I can understand that stuff, okay? I can understand that as a father.
I don't think you do.
As a father.
I don't think you do unless you've had that walk in his steps or my steps. Would you understand that?
Well,
do you have your daughter tell you exactly what she told us?
Right.
And there's nothing. Nobody was doing nothing for her, for anybody.
Well, and I guess you're right. I guess the only thing I can tell you.
And why haven't there been any follow-up?
Well, it sounds like what you told me was, it's because Stephanie. That I don't know. I don't know. I understand.
We made the initial complaint.
Okay.
Or yeah.
Right, and then never got contacted?
No.
Okay, that's bullshit. I agree.
How did you think so?
No, I'm totally with you. I didn't know about it.
How come I've never seen you mark down Jones? Ever.
Okay.
Mark down Jones. Who's Jones?
Well,
you tell me.
Well, that's something I will look into.
Please do, and I want to know.
Okay, and I will. That's my plan. Yeah.
Because I might have a lawsuit going on, okay?
Okay.
Because there has been nobody helping my daughter, and then she ended up down in California, got raped again.
Right. You're right. I've never walked a mile in your shoes. What I can tell you is, sadly, as a major crimes detective, I've walked miles in other people's shoes that have went through the same.
Yeah, you ain't walked in my shoes. My shoes been a lot longer. I probably have holes in longer than you've ever walked in your life.
No, you're right. I totally agree with you.
I've been raped a few times, and I know what it fucking feels like. And ain't nobody can sit there and tell me they know what it feels like. And I've lost a baby for SIDS, and my daughter telling me that she was what she went through, and nobody's gonna tell me otherwise.
No, I agree. And for that, I apologize if
I had to bury my baby, you know. Right. And just before all this shit happened, my mom died. Okay. Dad committed suicide, brother committed suicide, sister died drinking and driving.
Right.
And John left just prior to well, right after he lost his job, and then I ended up attempting suicide. That was pretty fucked up. So all of that time is fucking lost. I don't remember much. I almost died, and I took 150 sleeping pills. And I woke up in ICU with ventilator hooked up to me. And it was right after John lost his job. And I thought he cheated on me, and he wasn't coming home.
Oh, after he disappeared for that time when he lost his job.
After she flat out denies any knowledge of the body in the car, the interview ends, and she is allowed outside for a cigarette. In the meantime, the same officer goes into another room to start the interview with John. And with the information he now has, he will be able to see if their stories match up. John starts by talking about his daughter's relationship with Andrew, how they met, and how they were, in his words, robbing him blind. He was convinced that Andrew had been manipulating her, tricking her, and ultimately grooming her to be sold to the sex trafficking ring. He went on to recount his version of how he and Brenda drove to Seattle to rescue Stephanie, which largely matches the account Brenda had just given. And then the officer cuts to the chase.
So, obviously, John, I mean, you know I'm a major crimes detective, okay? I mean, I told you that from day one. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I mean, you're sitting here for a reason. We don't arrest people unless we have evidence. So, I mean, I just didn't decide today that I was gonna go out and arrest John just because. I mean, there's a reason that I arrested you. I've been pretty much working this thing nonstop since Friday, early morning of Friday, from about, I think I started at about 2 in the morning, and I'm pretty much 24/7. I've got some sleep, don't get me wrong, but I've been compiling evidence and, you know, everything else, and figuring what's going on, okay? As a caveat, before we delve into it, I'm gonna tell you, Andrew's a fucking piece of shit, and I understand why sometimes things happen to people that are pieces of shit. It happens. And sometimes good people like yourself get to the point where, like we talked about earlier, this is the line in the sand, this is what you did. You're gonna pay for what you fucking did. And I'm on that same page with you. I get it. I'm a father. I completely understand. I understand that in any situation there are certain circumstances that you push a person so far and you do certain things to either that person or his children, there's going to be fucking consequences, and I completely understand that. I just want to tell you that. You know, I'm sorry that we're meeting under these circumstances. Let's put it this way, okay? For that, I apologize. You're a decent guy. You worked hard your whole life. I hate to see you sitting in a police interview room. I really do. You seem like a nice guy, and for that, like I said, I'm sorry. But as you can imagine, you know, once I got called Friday night, you know, I had a job to do. So, you know, and that's all I'm doing. Okay? So I'll be honest with you, and I think sitting here as one grown man to another, you didn't well, see, she's okay. That's Brenda.
Well, she's a boisterous little one.
I can see she's a fire stick. I can see where.
You look up for her.
Yeah, she seems like a fire stick. She, Stephanie, a lot like her. Yeah, she's a little fire stick. I get it. So, like I said, you know, I'm going to be completely honest with you. You know, you didn't expect that car to be found. I know that. When it was found, you know what was in the trunk as well as I do. Okay? But I know there's extenuating circumstances. And I know you're not some vicious killer that decided, you know, I'm fucking bored. I'm just going to go kill somebody because it's funny or it's because it's amusing or whatever. There was a reason this happened. And I understand that. I truly do. And I get it. I understand it. I'm a father. I get it. I've got a daughter. I understand it.
I was
but
a child.
sadly, I have a daughter. So, You know, that's all I'm doing here today.
Right.
Okay? So I guess what I'm looking for you is, I just need you to tell me in your words, I know there's extenuating circumstances. Did this guy say, fuck you? Did you contact him? Did you try to talk to him? Did something happen? Was he a fucking smug little, was he like a smug little punk?
No, I'm thinking
You know?
he stole that goddamn car.
You're thinking he stole what car?
That Honda.
The Honda? Okay.
He must have.
Okay.
You know, I thought, for a long time we thought Ashley had it, and then, like I said, then Brenda said, fuck, Stephanie, and I went, Stephanie can't drive. Right. We'd be called by the paramedics coming to get her because she's getting a wreck so fast. Night times, whoa. Right. No, I've driven with her, tried to, and said, pull over. No.
Well, John, you know as well as I do, this is not about him stealing that car. Okay, you know that, I know that.
Well,
you know as well as I do. You know as well as I do that his body was in the trunk of that car. You know that. You know that. And you know, like I said, I've gathered evidence. There's forensics evidence. There's biological evidence. There's DNA evidence. That's the reason you're sitting in this room today. Okay? Man to man, you killed him. It is what it is. I get it. He's a fucking piece of shit. He fucking sex trafficked your daughter. He sold her for $1,000 fucking dollars, and he's a piece of shit. I get it. Okay? And I get you were angry. I understand that. I understand as a parent, as a father, I get it. I understand it. Tell me what led up to it. What happened? What did he do? Just be honest with me so I can go to a judge and go, look, this guy's a good guy. He fucking worked for the county for 18 years. He's an upstanding guy. This fucking guy sex trafficked his fucking daughter. Okay? You can only push a man so far before we draw that line in the sand and say, this isn't fucking right. This isn't right what he did. My daughter will pay for this for the rest of her life. It is not right.
All this advice dumping out of his ear.
Well, sometimes it is what it is. Okay?
Oh,
sometimes
judge and jury ain't gonna say that.
But a judge and a jury will hear your story. They'll hear your story. But it's important for you to tell your story because a jury needs to hear your story. When a jury is looking at this video, are they looking at you and going, you know what? This guy's a prick who is just an asshole and he shouldn't have done it? Or is it a jury who listens to your side of the story on this video and goes, you know what? I got a daughter. I get it. I understand why this guy did what he did. I understand it. Okay?
How'd the guy talk?
Understand it. They need to hear that from you. They need to hear your side of the story. It's important for you, for what happens after this. This is your chance. This is your chance to tell that jury right there what happened and why this piece of shit got what he deserved. That's all I'm telling you, man to man. Tell your story. Tell me what happened.
Well, I'd like to kill him.
Okay?
I really, but no, he stole the car, evidently, because he's in it.
Well, you killed him. I know that. So,
Okay.
once again, John.
How do you know I killed him?
Because I have evidence. I have statements. There's more people. There's more people than you that know about this. I don't have you arrested here for no reason. Okay? Once again, I'm just trying to get you to tell the people that you'll eventually talk to in front of a jury what happened. Okay? Just tell me what happened. I know about the property up north. I know that you never intended for that car to end up in the city of Spokane. That was got to be like a.
Well,
let's be honest. You had to have an "oh shit" moment when the police showed up on your doorstep Friday. You had to go.
At this moment, John sees the game is up, and he seems to make his decision.
Fuck.
I'm sure your buddy could see I was having an "oh shit" moment.
I could tell. I could tell you were. So you know right there when the major crimes detectives walked up, you went. They found Andrew's body. You knew it. And that's all. I mean, we're being honest, right? We're being real men. We walked up and you went, fuck that.
And she really don't know much about it.
Brenda doesn't?
No.
Okay. Well, that's one thing I told Brenda, too. It's like, Brenda, obviously, I mean, I don't want to get her in trouble.
No.
The only way she would get in trouble is if she knows things that you told her or she witnessed things you did.
Right.
And you're telling me that's not the case. Okay. So you're telling me that, was she involved in the murder? No. Okay. Was she
And
present?
it wasn't even.
Was she
really
present
gonna
when
be a murder.
Okay, so what happened?
Okay.
What happened? Tell me.
Well, he was gonna rob a friend of mine.
Okay.
After all this, you know.
Okay.
And I said, who are you dealing with? And he told me, I said, he's bad news, dude. I said, call him up and get him to come over, you know.
Okay.
And so I come walking out around the corner, and he's like, and I said, oh yeah, you know, and we sat there and we talked. And he lied a couple times, you know, and I said, no, you don't get to lie. And then finally he admitted, yeah, I sold her for $1,000.
Right.
My daughter didn't tell me she got sold for $1,000. He told me he sold her for $1,000.
Right.
And I still, and I said, you're being honest with me, just like what
right.
And I said, so I'm thinking we can work through this,
right.
You know, but I'm mattered and shit, and I go, why would you? My daughter's got a good heart. She wanted to help you out, and then he spit on me. Okay.
Yep.
And that's when he got zip tied.
Okay.
And the sock stuffed in his mouth.
Okay.
And I still wasn't finished. And that son of a bitch, I could get down here, and he said no. And I went to grab him, and he come flying down and doing a headbutt. And I lost my cool.
Right.
And I started beating on him, and my hands hurt so bad, and I'm doing hammer fist, and then I fucking took a knife out, stabbed him. I don't know how many times, it's quite big, because he kept fucking breathing and moving, and then finally, you hear that noise.
Right.
It's like, oh God. And, you know, just horrible.
Right.
And so, you know, Joe across the street films my house 24/7.
Okay.
So at any point in time, you know, you'll see that car left.
Right.
With me driving it.
Okay.
Came back with me driving it.
Okay.
He was in the trunk then.
Oh, he was in the trunk of the Honda.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then I took off with it.
Okay.
And then she fucking just, where are you? Get out of here. And I didn't want to tell her.
No, understandably.
So,
right.
So, yeah, I mean, so. But yeah, no, I did it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I'm not proud of it,
right.
You know.
Well, he pushed you.
And he's an idiot, because he was gonna live.
Right.
I mean, I would have probably beat his ass. I would have untied him.
Right.
And let him swing.
Right.
And try to, you know, I had a stupid ass kid.
Right.
You know, just everything, you know. I'm trying to be fucking cool with him, and then he ends up just being a jackass.
Right.
Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Right. So did this happen then at your house? No, up at the property? No, where did it happen at?
Airway Heights.
Airway Heights, okay. Down the Airway Heights? Okay. And when did it happen? Do you remember the date or close?
No, I think it was November.
Of last year? Okay. Okay.
It's been about a year.
Okay. So you put him in the trunk of the, so it happened out at Airway Heights? And then you put him in the trunk of the car out there? And then where did you drive the car to?
My house.
Your house?
Like I said, you'd be getting hold of Joe, and he'd be more than happy to show you all his little trinkets but anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you drive home, she's pissed off because where the fuck you been?
Right. But everything's cool and everything. Right. It's like whatever. And then I got rid of the car.
Okay. Where'd you take the car to?
Or by Miller's One Stop up north.
Okay. Is that Mr. Pierce's property?
I don't know who he is.
Mark Pierce. Oh, okay. What's
some old guy? But
it's probably the same guy. What's on? Let's put it this way.
There was a bus.
Yeah. We were at the property the other day. So, how come you chose up there? Did you?
I knew there was another car that was parked that was broke down.
Okay.
I knew somebody And they told me about that, and I said, well, then that car looked just fine sitting there.
Oh, so it didn't look out of place?
Mhm.
Okay. So you parked it there like clear back in November?
Yeah.
Okay, and it's been sitting there ever since?
Mhm.
So now the $1 million question.
Who brought it
Who's the
into
dumb
town?
fuck that brought it back into town?
Yeah, well,
Do you have any idea?
No.
No. I'm wondering, you know, we were kind of theorizing. I'm wondering if somebody was out there and just needed a fucking ride
Yep.
and decided,
hey,
fuck this.
put a battery in it.
Well, oh, was there no battery in it? Oh, did you take the battery out? Oh, when you dumped it? So from what you're saying, is you took the battery out so nobody would fucking drive it. And somebody was nice to have a fucking battery in it for you. That was nice of them.
It was.
So you never expected this car to show back up?
Well, no.
So I can only imagine, like you said, when we showed up at your house that Friday, you're like, gotcha, okay. So you were saying you got wind that Andrew was going to do a robbery at this guy's place? That's what you said?
He was going to try and steal, and the reason why is he used my phone to get into his Messenger, get into his Facebook, get into his Google.
Okay.
When he did that, he didn't put a password
Oh, okay.
or delete it.
Gotcha.
So all of a sudden I'm clicking through my phone, and all of a sudden I am now Andrew on Facebook.
Okay.
And I'm like, and I see what he's writing, and I'm like, oh really?
So you get wind of what he's going to do? Okay.
I just showed up.
So now where he was going to do this in Airway Heights, did you know that person? Or you just kind of
Barely.
figured?
I knew
Okay.
the people, the property.
Okay.
Right?
Was he going to do like a dope rip or
No, dope.
a dope rip?
Mhm.
Okay. Do you know the names of the people where where this was?
What, Mindy, I think.
Mindy? Okay. So you got wind through basically utilizing Andrew's Facebook that he was going to do a direct rip. And you said, fuck that. I'm going to...
But then I showed up, and then he was belligerent.
Right.
And ass, and
Was this like a trailer or a house? Or?
Hey.
Okay. So you were just waiting when he got there? Okay. And then you just...
Sitting around the corner.
Okay.
And then you
Well, I bet you his eyes were
said,
fucking big.
Kinda didn't expect to see me, did you?
Okay.
You know?
Gotcha.
You know, and then he tried denying shit.
Right.
You know, and I said, no.
Right. Gotcha. So the zip ties, where'd they come from? Did you bring them with you, or you brought them with you? Okay.
Well, I had him in the car.
Oh, okay.
The car that got towed, the other Honda that, and the truck that got sold had zip ties in it. My other Honda that had zip ties on it. You ever break down and needed
Oh yeah, zip ties come in handy.
They come in handy. I've never thought about doing what I did with them. I mean,
Right. So the car you drove out there that night was the '91 Honda Accord. That night. Okay. And you had the zip ties. Did you zip tie them in the house or outside?
Outside.
Huh?
Outside.
Outside?
Mhm.
Okay. So the
Well,
confrontation.
and he was cool with it, because we had already gone through the whole gamut of yelling and stupid shit.
Okay.
And I was trying to convince him I'm not. My intention was not to.
Right.
But it definitely was A1 going to stop a robbery.
Right.
You know, because you're a piece of shit.
Right.
And then what the fuck? You're going to admit it. And then finally he admitted it.
Right.
You know. But then after he admitted it, and I said, well, good, we're working.
Right.
Together.
Right.
School.
Right.
And I think he might be able to go that here.
Okay.
You know.
Right.
And so he was getting kind of happy, you know, and I said, but I'm still going to zip tie you, you know.
Okay.
So he put his hands behind his back.
Okay. So he basically let you do that. Okay.
But then when I go to grab him, you know, I said, come on. He come flying out, and last ditch effort. When I said, you should have done this a long time ago.
Right.
This is what you do at first.
Right. Not
at last.
Yeah, not last.
No.
And at some point he spit in your face.
Well,
Right.
he spit in my face first.
So when you zip tied him, I mean, were you just gonna like take him outside and kick his ass, or what? How come you zip tied him at that point?
Because when I'm driving with him,
Oh, okay.
I didn't want him to start attacking me.
Oh, gotcha.
Right. I wasn't gonna put him in a trunk.
Right. So where were you gonna, where was initially, where were you gonna take
I was
him?
gonna take him to his house up on 44th and Denver.
Okay.
Okay. My daughter stayed up there with him a bit, and I knew where he lived, and I was gonna take him up there.
Gotcha. And do what with him? Drop him off?
Mm-hmm.
Or- okay. So at that point, so he's zip
No, I
tied.
wasn't gonna, at no point in time.
Okay.
Because I think I'm not how much.
Oh, butt stream.
So at that
I've
point,
never killed him
he's,
in my life.
he's zip
and I
tied
don't-
behind his back. Okay. Were his feet zip tied at that point too?
No, not at that point.
Not at that point. Okay. So after you leave with him in the car,
No.
no, oh no.
No, I got him right there, because when he comes flying headbutting at me, right, it's on and cracking.
Gotcha.
And then I'm trying to stuff him in the trunk, and then he throws his feet out at me, and then that's when I grab his feet and zip tie him, and I said, no.
Gotcha.
No. I said, you're being stupid, you know, and then he comes lunging out, and it's like, that guy is a fucking idiot.
Right.
But if he would have fucking listened to me,
Right.
and went to talk to Mar or any of those other guys, right?
Right.
They would have told me, leave him alone. Don't do nothing stupid.
Don't push
I
him.
mean, why do you want to go there? You know, I get along with just about everybody.
Right.
But you want to come doing stupid shit, well, I'm not running.
Yeah, no, I get it. So when he got stabbed, was he in the trunk then?
Mhm.
Okay. And then obviously today when you were contacted, you had some knives on you.
Mhm.
Or one of those knives? No? Okay.
No, I don't know where any of those knives are.
The knives that you used?
I traded one of them, I think. Let's see. One of, yeah, what kind of knife was it? It was like, I like that knife. It's a nice knife.
Right.
Trying to think of the makes. It's not a Kershaw, it's not a Schrade, it's one of the newer ones, like, most of our knives are heavy.
Right. Not a buck.
No, newer.
Gotcha.
I don't know.
Okay. Did you pawn it or just trade it?
No, I just traded it. So.
Okay.
Any one of the,
So it sounded like there was more than one knife?
no, it's just that one.
Just the one, okay, okay. So that occurred in the trunk then? That occurred in the trunk is where you stabbed him? Okay. And I know you said earlier quite a few times, but you're not sure of the exact.
7, I think.
7. And where at about? Do you remember where you stabbed him? Right in the torso? Okay.
Probably would have got a rib or two, I would think also.
Right. Okay.
Same, I mean, I don't know. That knife made it feel like butter. It was the strangest feeling.
Oh, really?
It got horrible.
Oh.
Horrible.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then you said earlier.
I sat there for the longest time after that. It was just like,
Right.
you know, if you think that's not going to change it, I'm sorry. It's what it is going
Oh, yeah.
to change you. And this and this.
Right.
You know, I mean, am I going to be a mass murderer? No.
Right.
No.
Right.
But it's messing with your psyche.
Right.
That's somebody's son, that's somebody's fucking
Right.
brother, that's somebody, you know what I mean?
Right, no,
all that shit means stuff to me, right?
Right.
It really does.
Right. No, and like I said, from day one, I don't think you're a bad man. I mean, I think you're a man that made some poor
Somebody
decisions.
made some stupid ass.
Yeah,
fucking
exactly.
decisions.
Like you said, you're a man who's worked your whole life and you provided, and this night you made some bad decisions. Gotcha. Okay. So the people that out there in Airway Heights,
They knew nothing
Mindy,
about what
did they
was
see
going
what
on.
happened outside or no? So
No.
all that happened outside,
Back behind their house.
back behind their house. So the initial discussion, when he first saw you, that was inside the house where he went. Oh no, you were waiting outside
He
for
was,
him.
yeah, he never made it in.
Oh, so he never got in. Oh, okay. So you were waiting for him outside. Did he drive out there, walk, or how did he get
Yeah,
there?
somebody dropped him off.
Oh, okay. So you just kind of stood in the shadows and waited. Okay. And then you were saying earlier, your intention when you first went out there wasn't to kill him.
Oh, hell no.
Okay. Okay.
No.
So what was your
I'm gonna
intention?
stop a robbery.
You're going to stop the robbery, and then you wanted
And I
to
wanted
talk to him.
confront him. I wanted
Okay.
to beat his ass.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
So when you put the zip
And I
tie,
don't know if I can beat his ass. Maybe,
Right.
maybe not.
Right.
Right.
so when you put the zip ties on, was your intention after you got the zip ties on was to beat his ass? I mean, no. Oh.
No, we were still gonna, I was gonna let him fight.
Or did you put the zip ties?
Just so he wasn't hitting me while I was driving down the road.
Oh.
I
Okay.
wasn't gonna put him. He's gonna be riding.
So will you plan to take him somewhere else to fight then?
Yeah, and up at that park.
Oh.
Denver Park, whatever that.
You were gonna go out there and kick his ass.
Yeah, I was gonna go.
That was your intention.
And he's right by his house.
Gotcha.
You know?
Okay.
And I probably would let him call like his brother or his mom before because usually I warn people, you know, that this is stupid, don't do it. You know, I let people hit me and say gotta go away, but that's how you got.
Right.
Because when I'm coming, sometimes I freak out.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
6th grade, I ended up strangling a friend of mine.
Right.
But, 2 weeks earlier, I was spending the night at his house and everything. I thought everything was cool. And next thing I know, I can't see stars.
Right.
My head hurt. And then when I could finally see, my hands got blood and my head's pounding. And I look back, and there's John Rogers standing there with a bloody rock laughing. And I go, boom, I exploded.
Right.
And the next thing I know, I'm sitting in the principal's office.
Right.
With my 6th grade teacher, and they're looking at me like they're really mean and ugly, and I'm like, when they go, oh, you don't get to do that. And I go, do what?
Right.
Oh, act like you just, and I go, no, seriously, I don't know what happened.
Right.
But I strangled him, and there was no one there to pull me off.
Right.
The little kids couldn't, the 6th graders.
Right. So when we looked in the trunk of the car, there was a certain item back there. Obviously, there was the body, but then there was another item back there. It was
a concrete block.
Yes. What was the deal with that?
I smashed him in the head with it.
Oh, okay. When did that? In the sequence of
Before
events?
I stabbed him.
Before you stabbed him. Where'd you hit him at? Just in the head? Did it knock him out, or was he still awake? Or?
Well, it knocked him out,
Okay.
but he was still breathing.
Oh, okay. And then you started stabbing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and I'm sorry, like I said, these facts go in my mind a million fucking places. As he's going in the trunk, he's already zip tied because he put his hands behind his back. And then did you zip tie his feet when he's outside the trunk, or after you got him in? And then you
After I got him in.
Then you zip tied his feet.
And because it was I wasn't planning on doing nothing.
Right.
He was supposed to be riding with me, and he's doing all this stupid shit.
Gotcha.
And then he's lunging at me with his feet.
Right.
Kicking, and I was like, gee, I'm gonna have to get zip tied because I have them in my back pocket.
Right.
Doubled them up, and then and there you go.
Right.
And I thought about just leaving him in there, and then he started fucking kicking with the zip tie, striking out.
Right.
And it just escalated.
Okay. Was the brick just already in the trunk then?
No, it was laying there in the back.
Oh, okay. So it was just laying
It
there.
was there.
So you grabbed it, and then what'd you do?
Well, I threw it in his head.
Oh, okay. While he's in the trunk?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He never got out of the trunk.
He never got, once you got him in there, he never got out. Okay. And then there was some stuff around his face. What was the deal with that? Do you remember?
Sock. They got stuck
Oh, a
in
sock.
the mouth.
Okay, there was some other stuff like around his face?
That was tape.
Oh, okay. Was that tape? What was the deal? How'd that happen?
Well, the tape was in the car.
Oh, okay. Like.
But he's making noise, and I was going,
Gotcha.
Because and I still didn't. I wasn't gonna kill him.
Oh, okay.
It just escalated. He kept
just
doing shit,
wouldn't
and
stop.
kicking at me and shit.
Right.
And I'm just going, Emperor, fucking
Stop.
Mm-hmm.
So did the tape go on then before the break and the stabbing?
Mhm.
Okay. And what kind of tape was it?
Strapping tape.
Strapping tape?
Mm-hmm.
Like that clear tape?
Mm-hmm.
And you said that was just in the car?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Was it like in the interior of the car, the trunk?
It was in the trunk.
In the trunk, okay. And was it like on a roll, or do you remember?
It was in a roll.
Was it like in a dispenser, or just a?
It might have been a small dispenser.
Okay.
Like those ones you buy that have their own dispenser and it can tear.
Gotcha. Remember what color the dispenser was?
Red, I think.
Okay. So basically.
Well, it's clear plastic, but red cardboard.
The dispenser. Okay. So basically, you get him in the trunk. He's zip tied in hands. He won't fucking quit being a dumbass. You zip tie his feet. He won't shut up. So you put a sock in his mouth and then tape.
Yeah.
and then he's still being a dick.
No, and then he's lunging his feet at.
So that's when you.
And he almost came out.
Oh, okay.
It's like,
so there's a cinder block there. You grab the cinder block and like you just throw it, or you hit him, or I mean.
I kind of threw it.
Kind of threw it. His head hits him, but he's still conscious.
Well, kind of. Really.
Not really. He's kind of out of it then. And then at this point, you take the knife, which you just have in your pocket or coat.
Oh, right on here.
Like on a clip. In a clip. So you take the knife, boom, and then just go to town on him. Okay. And you think most of the wounds were in the abdomen? Any in the neck or?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so mostly the abdomen.
Stomach and abdomen.
And then at one point he kind of starts like what you described as the death.
Death gurgle.
Okay.
Horrible sound.
And then you realize this fucking went farther than I thought.
Well, yeah, even, it's just like, oh my fucking God. Right. Like I said, I just sat there. Right. That's why I was always mad, because I didn't come home. I was just
gotcha. Right. Gotcha. So when's the last time you were actually up at the property?
Shit. I don't think I ever went back up there.
Oh, after that day? Oh, okay. Gotcha. So you kind of had talked about maybe putting your car up in, I think you said Ponderay or Priest or somewhere up in that area, but that just never came to...
Never came to, yeah, because all of a sudden, like I said, I had to tell one person, and he told somebody else, and
Gotcha.
There's two.
Gotcha.
Is he going to say more to somebody else? And my head starts swimming, and I was going, no. What do you do? I mean, I guess I could go ask a mass murderer or somebody murder.
Give me advice on it. I know there's some people that Google it. How do I get rid of a body? That was a big. Remember that big joke?
It's also a fucking nightmare. The whole fucking my whole life ever since then has been nothing but a nightmare. Okay.
Well, I can imagine you've
like
been waiting for this foot to drop.
Well, maybe it's a relief, but anyway.
Right.
It changes you. It does. It changes everything. So.
Right. So did Brenda ever find out what had happened? Okay. So she's in the dark about what happened. Okay.
But then, just before the interview ends, John makes a shocking admission.
So are you currently already taking any medications at all, John? No. Okay. And then obviously you work.
Advil.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And you worked for the county, you said, for like 17, 18 years. Okay. So when this event happened in November of last year, were you still working for the county? No. Okay. All right.
No.
And that night that this happened, were you drinking or doing drugs that night? No. Okay. So.
Well, I wasn't drinking.
Okay.
I've only recently started even dabbling in it because that's a danger zone.
Right.
I just have a couple beers every now and then.
Gotcha.
But I may have smoked some meth or, definitely some pot.
Do you remember that night if you specifically did or not?
No, I was smoking it every day, so
okay.
I was smoking.
Okay. Gotcha. So any other thing?
Finally got off that shit.
Good. When did you get off that?
Just a little bit ago.
Good for you.
Me and her.
Good.
She was doing it too, and the only reason why she did it was just because I did it, and she thought, maybe blah blah blah.
Gotcha.
With the interview over, Brenda comes in to see him, but she doesn't yet know that he's already admitted to murdering Andrew. So the news that John is now facing the prospect of many years behind bars is devastating to her.
I'll let you guys. I'm gonna shut the door.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So, you don't want to take care of my boy. So you go for me and take care of my boy. Mm-hmm. I love you. ultrasound. Okay?
What an idiot.
Yeah. So they told you Andy was in there, in that car. Mm-hmm.
Trying to get me to say shit when I
Well, we don't know anything.
Yes, that's what I said.
I'm sorry. I really do. I love you.
I don't want to make anybody's visit.
It doesn't matter.
Did they
You've been
arrest
together
you,
24
right?
years, yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna go over there and be booked and then go to my new home.
No, we're gonna get you out of this. I need to get a hold of Devin.
They'll give me a public defender.
Huh?
They'll give me a public defender. I admitted to it. Just end it. Done. I ain't gonna drag you through that. You gotta take care of my boy, okay? You gotta take care of my girl.
Why did you do that?
Honey. Honey. Well, listen, I love you, okay, and I love my kids, alright, I need you to take care of them, okay, I need you to be strong and take care of them, alright? Don't just let me worry about it, just, okay?
However, in their exchanges, John pointedly doesn't say anything to Brenda that suggests she knew anything about the murder. Trying to protect her, he carefully sticks to his story that he acted alone, although, as it later transpired, this was just a calculated deceit. Perhaps the most tragic aspect of this case is that Andrew never did sell Stephanie to sex traffickers. She herself had deep psychological issues, and after finding herself alone in Seattle, she may have well been extremely angry with Andrew and blamed him for abandoning her, as she saw it. But the story about being sold to a sex ring turned out to be false. However, as John admitted during his interview, it seems that both parents were using meth at the time, and they believed her story, and their meth-fueled rage is likely what drove her father to do what he did. But there was more. After news of the case broke, many people initially believed the story about the sex ring. John was lauded as a hero for seeking revenge for what he thought had happened to his daughter, and a crowdfunding campaign quickly raised many thousands of dollars for his legal fees as a result. And so at the same time as grieving for their lost son, Andrew's parents were also forced to fight to prove that he was not guilty of doing what Eisenman and Cross thought he had done. When the case went to trial, John Eisenman pled guilty to first-degree murder and was given a relatively lenient sentence of 25 years. However, despite what both had said during their interviews, it later came out that, far from being ignorant of what had happened, Brenda had also played a significant role in the killing, and they had both tried to conceal this from the police during questioning. Nearly a year after the arrest of Eisenman, Brenda was also arrested, having confided to a coworker that she had been present during the killing and had taken pleasure in cruelly taunting Andrew as he died, saying he got what he deserved. She pled guilty to first-degree manslaughter, reduced from first-degree murder, and was sentenced to 8.5 years in prison for her part in Andrew's killing. As for Stephanie, after Andrew's death, she disappeared off to Arizona, where she remained homeless, so little is known of what happened to her after these events. Of course, there are two sides to every story, and Andrew was undoubtedly a flawed individual. But his family maintained that he would have never been capable of the things John Eisenman and Brenda Cross accused him of. And if they were right, he certainly didn't deserve what they did to him. But in the end, justice caught up with his murderers, and they are now serving their sentences for his brutal and merciless slaying.
All right. My phone charged enough for art? Not really. Not really. I can't focus. I need food.
Stand up! I'm not gonna tell you again!
I'm really trying to stand up.
God damn it. I got you. I got you, baby. Come on. I got you. I got you, baby. I know. Hey, she's still alive.
I think I've seen this one before.
March 10th, 2024 would mark a day of horrific discovery.
What? Ants Canada's live? Say what? That's amazing. I love Ants Canada. Come on, Hydrometer. Guess it's not gonna work.
Every day, we walk and drive across marvels of engineering. Bridges spanning 7,000 feet, they can sway up to 30 feet, and still, they don't collapse. Skyscrapers towering over 2,700 feet, they easily withstand the strongest winds. Underground tunnels stretching for dozens of miles, held together by concrete, steel, and precise calculations. But one mistake in the design, one missing bolt, one shortcut, and everything can come crashing down in an instant. Today, you'll find out how cutting $6 million in costs brought down a bridge, how a tiny crack claimed hundreds of lives, how a $1.50 tube of glue triggered a multi-billion-dollar disaster. Let's dive in. The biggest engineering mistakes in history. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Even more fascinating stories are on the way. July 1st, 1940. In the state of Washington, thousands of people gathered to witness the opening of an engineering marvel. The Tacoma Narrows Bridge, sleek and elegant, it was seen as a symbol of progress. However, just 4 months later, the bridge turned into a terrifying 1,000-ton swing. On November 7th, 1940, journalist Leonard Coatsworth arrived at the bridge to prepare a report on its unusual behavior. He brought Tubby, his daughter's beloved little dog, along for the ride. Suddenly, the wind picked up and something awful began to unfold. The bridge started twisting in a figure-8 motion and collapsing before their eyes. Coatsworth barely managed to leap out of the car, but Tubby, overcome with panic, wouldn't let herself be rescued. Moments later, a deafening crash echoed through the area. The huge span of the bridge fell into the water, taking the poor dog with it. Yet, the bridge's tragic fate could have been avoided, if not for the challenging economic conditions of the Great Depression. In the late 1930s, Washington state authorities rejected the original design by civil engineer Clark Eldridge. Instead, they opted for an alternative proposed by his competitor, Leon Moisseiff. The reason was simple: money. The first design would have cost $11 million, while the second came in at just $6.4 million. The State Highway Department deemed the chosen design fundamentally flawed. During construction, workers already reported that the bridge was bouncing. It even earned the nickname Galloping Gertie. Despite all the warnings, the bridge was built according to Moisseiff's design. To cut costs and reduce the structure's weight, he used a narrow box girder instead of the traditional massive truss. This made the bridge highly sensitive to wind. Even slight twisting of the deck caused vortices that intensified the vibrations and made the bridge sway more and more. On November 7th, 1940, with wind speeds of just 42 miles per hour, the Tacoma Narrows Bridge entered into uncontrollable resonance, and less than an hour later, at 11 a.m., the central span collapsed. The actual collapse lasted only a few minutes. This phenomenon was later identified as aeroelastic flutter. The disaster effectively ended Leon Moisseiff's career. In 1950, the Tacoma Narrows Bridge was replaced by a new one, this time with trusses. Since then, all suspension bridges have undergone aerodynamic wind tunnel testing. A scaled-down version of the bridge is placed inside the tunnel, and artificial airflows are generated, including the very flutter effect that caused the Tacoma Narrows collapse. Yes, the cost of this mistake was high, but not as high as in this next case. July 17, 1981, Kansas, Missouri, a Friday evening at the Hyatt Regency Hotel. Over 1,600 people had gathered to enjoy music and dancing. Among them were newlyweds Karen Jeter and her husband Eugene.
Oh, I can't stop. My head is spinning. My head is spinning. I gotta slow down. I feel like I'm gonna have a fucking seizure. There's just too much that happening. It's just too much. I'm just getting overwhelmed. Why are all those open? I'm gonna go fucking lay down a second. I'm not high enough for this. Maybe it's the indica. I usually smoke sativa, which is more like an upper, like coffee. And now I'm smoking indica and it's making this. Barely, I don't even want to focus on TV. Ugh. I'm gonna go lay down a minute. Maybe I just need a nap. That's probably what it is. I just need a nap. I'm smoking a little bit more weed. I'm hungry, and every time I want to eat food, and then I want to plug in the microwave, and then I think about it, and I just, never mind. There it is down there. I was gonna move up the uncover that. Yeah, I'm just gonna go lay down a minute. I'm just giving myself a fucking headache though. Thank you. You were probably about to get off work too. I'm gonna lay down. As I do. Alright, cool. Maybe I'll download World of Warcraft and we'll play that. Do I have Warcraft downloaded? Blizzard. Battle.net, that's the way. That's it, right? There we are. What's new? Doom. I have Diablo 2 and Heroes of the Storm. Wait. What? Oh, I did put in a new one. Oh. Look at that. We're gonna update it.